As a change of pace, I have two pet health related questions. I find that pets take on the frequencies of their owners.
Often.
Yes. And because of that, their illnesses either parallel the owner's illnesses
Or surpass them.
Yes, in that sometimes I feel the animal is taking on an illness for the owner.
Well, they love you, but not that much. A little bit of resistance goes a long way in a stream that's moving really fast. And so in everything that you're living, you have to understand that it's the 2 points of vibrational relativity that are important. A woman said to us one day, I'm so sick, I have this and this and this, and I'm a pretty positive person. And my friend is really negative and not sick. How come? It's not fair. And we said, well, your stream's moving faster, and so your attention to what you do not want is causing more struggle within your vibration, where your friend has a slower moving stream, and so your friend is not feeling the resistance as much. In other words, the faster your stream moves, the more you want to tend to it. So then you say, well then, why would an animal get sick at all? Because an animal is living life and giving birth to thoughts, surely, but not with the intensity that we are. So why would an animal ever get sick? Why would an animal not just go with the flow? And we say, you have identified the answer for that. The animal will live an exaggerated version of the vibrational frequency of you in order to demonstrate discord. They do love you that much. It is about that.
Well, I'm a veterinarian, so how can I best help them then?
The best way that you can help the beast is by helping the beast's household to understand vibration. So you could say to an owner of a beast that you find with illness, you could say to the owner, I was talking to your dog this morning, and I said, what's bothering your mother? What's going on in your household that has you all tensed up? That's a good way to get someone's attention. What's going on in that house that has you all knotted up? Are they not nice to each other? Are they not getting along? Do they want things that they're not letting in? What's the tension level of the house you live in?
So then, my ability to help that animal is relative to the owner's ability to recognize their part in this play.
Well, you see, the beast would naturally gravitate somewhere else if it could get away. You say, oh, where has my kitty cat gone? And we say, to better feeling vibrations.
There are many branches of vibrational medicine, lasers and Rife machines and electromagnetic devices to try to get the entity in a vibration suitable for healing. And I was wondering if you had any opinion on any of those.
Well, they can be good demonstrators, maybe, but we would not replace the power of mind with any contraption, because in every way it's just trying to alter conditions without changing the thought that has caused the condition. Mm-hmm. In other words, you can have a temporary effect on anyone. A friend earlier wanted to know what the power of influence or persuasion is about. So you can hold a beast as your object of attention while you focus upon who they really are. In other words, we know you have seen improvement in animals when you have been able to spend some time with them, but you feel limited in the amount of time that you can give them. You see improvement in some animals just when they are taken out of the environment in which they usually spend time. Mm-hmm. we wouldn't worry too much about them because, first of all, the beast has many messages that it's wanting to bring to your planet. The biggest one is that well-being abounds. The next biggest one is that I know that we are all temporarily in these physical bodies, and that these physical bodies are an extension of the eternalness that is us. And I have no problem moving in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. I'm not hung up on my body in the way you humans are hung up on your body. It's another very big thing that the beast is wanting to say. Now you might say back to the beast, yes, but you reach maturity much faster than we do as humans, and so you can affect your own physical freedom much faster than we can as humans. And the beast would certainly agree with that. But the point that the beast is wanting to make is that death is just a returning to the expanded version of you, and it certainly isn't the endedness of you, and therefore there's no reason to resist it. The difference between humans who get sick and beasts who get sick, the biggest difference is that humans, for the most part, are pushing against so many things, including the idea of death. While the beast is not pushing against the idea of death, the beast is not pushing against anything. The beast is just influenced by the vibration of those who surround, because the beast does not have the ability to direct its own thoughts in the strong pattern that humans do. This conversation really gives us an opportunity to talk about the basic differences between the vibrational patterns of those animals or beasts of your planet and the humans. And the big difference is that while you are all thinking beings, and while you are all vibrating and you are all offering thought, while the beasts do not comment as much and the human talks about a lot of things, the vibrational nature of the two categories, so to speak, is different in this sense. Humans are more expressly focused into the contrast of their environment for a more express purpose in creating, in directing thought. And so human is more about guiding the specific expansion of human life, while the beast is more an allower. So a human is more about how can I get what I want, the asking, step one, where the beast is more a demonstrator of step three, which is the allowing. And it's a wonderful thing that humans are moving through the stuff of life and are giving birth to desires. And it's a wonderful thing that many of them, the beasts of your planet, are demonstrating the art of allowing for the most part. So when you find a beast that is out of whack in terms of its physical condition, just understand that this beast, like humans, is spending too much time focused upon something unwanted and is setting up a vibration of disallowing within its experience, just like humans do. And this will be helpful for you, not so much in what you will say to others, but in your understanding of what's going on. You heard us talking earlier about children and how they come forth knowing their power, and how little by little they are sort of beaten down from that power as they are socialized. So the reason that you notice this sickness in the beasts is because in their socialization, they give more attention. In other words, a domesticated beast has many more do's and don'ts, just like our friend who finds them in church. In other words, the more do's and don'ts you find in your life, and the more people around who seem interested in impressing upon you their power to make you obey the do's and don'ts, the more resistance in your experience. And so if we were visiting with the animals, we would say to them, now you know better than this. You know you don't have to have any of this. You know you can think your own thought and be as you want to be. But sometimes in that socialization process of people and beasts, you find yourself looking too hard at what other people say they need from you in order to feel better. It's all that religious footing again, isn't it? That conditional love. In order to make me feel better about you doing the right thing, you need to do something differently than you're doing so that I can feel better. And it tramples the toes of freedom of humans and beasts alike. It is the culprit that is behind all illness, all negative emotion. The culprit that is behind every single thing that goes wrong anywhere in the universe is someone's perception of their loss of freedom. Because every emotion is about that variable. The better you feel, the more free you perceive yourself to be. The worse you feel, the less free you perceive yourself to be. So if you're watching the beasts that you have access to, just ask yourself that question with each one that you interact. What is your level, not your level of freedom, what's your level of perceived freedom? Because there are some beasts that don't care about being free as much as others. What's your level of perceived freedom? And once you isolate that, you will understand everything about what's happening.
But how could I help then? I mean, knowing the degree of the problem and what's going on.
Well, you can't help by knowing the degree of the problem, but you help with your power of influence by noting how free this one is. In other words, give us some examples of some situations you've come across.
There are like 3 really common scenarios, but one would be where the animal symptoms mirror whatever symptoms the owner is having. Like the owner has allergies and the dog has allergies. And if the owner's allergies get worse, the dog's allergies get worse. And the owners will take some pride in this. Do you know what I mean? He's just like me.
So the way we would help that situation is we would say, his mimicking symptoms means he's mimicking your approach to life. But you have to help them to understand that there's something that they're asking for that their thoughts are not allowing them to have that is causing that. If it's something like allergies, we would point out that there is some mild desire that they are denying. In other words, it's not anything very significant. And we would say, what is it that you wish to do that you don't think that you can do? And usually it's someone that feels too busy to do something or has too many other things to do. They have some project that is calling them or something that they would like to do that they just can't get into, you see. And so we would explain to them that I believe, say to them, that if you would allow yourself more of this pleasure, that some of the resistance that is at the heart of this allergy would go away. But that's what we mean when we say you're stepping out into a very bold place, because they would rather that you just give them a drug or a pill or help them to identify what it is so that they can remove it from their experience. And so when you get to that point of the conversation, say to them, that's what I'm attempting to help you do. I'm attempting to help you to identify what it is that you're focused upon that is disallowing the wellness that would be there if you were not doing that. And then just say, as they have said, and as they have taken pride, and your beast is just adding emphasis to this. You could also tell them that you have noticed that people will do things for their beasts that they will not even do for themselves. In other words, Jerry and Esther noticed they see people walking all over these RV parks, but only if they have a dog that needs to go for a walk. It is really rare to see someone walking for the pleasure of walking, but they'll take the dog for a walk. We visited with a woman one day who was living in a place that she had never liked, and she had a cat. And then the place that she was living got a new rule where animals were not allowed. So she began hiding her cat. But it's not easy to hide a cat. She was taking the cat out in the night and sneaking around with the cat. And finally, it became too uncomfortable for her, so she moved. And we said, you never liked that place, but you put up with all of the things you did not like. But for the cat, you'll move?
Thank you.